thought. And then, so I'm not sure that I really understand the necessity of the amendment.
And,
I
and
think
you're saying that the purpose of the waiver already is because there's been discussion with the physician that has led the parent to want the waiver. And that's where the conversation around risk should be. If there's some sort of way that we can, convey something that's not going to be cumbersome, but allows for it to be stated that there can be whatever the side effects can be, is what I'm speaking of. So in reading what Tom put here, I could see that being just that. But if there's no way to better articulate that, I'm ready to move forward.
Senator, to you, at the risk of pulling out our sleeping bags.
Okay, I'll just say this. This old grandma saying, you can't make it worser. Like, if it's worse or it's bad, it's bad. It can't be worser. So when someone says, I'm trying to make a bad bill better, but it's still bad, they're being disingenuous, right? Because if they're not trying to make it better so that they're going to support it, then they're just ridiculing it. And so in context, this is actually a rich conversation about the vaccines. Personally, I would move, but we got stuff on the table, to table this and shore up a better resolution for our next meeting. But I understand where we are.
Well, there is no seconder for Tom's amendment. I'm ready to vote on the actual.
There's a seconder for the amendment. We don't have the support of the seconder.
Let's be clear where we are, okay? This was offered as an idea, okay? It got a rich debate. At some point, you said I wasn't supportive. At some point later, you said you were. I'm happy to consider the first as a no, I don't accept it as a friendly amendment. Let's vote on it. I'm also happy to accept the second in lieu of the first as I have changed my mind. If your seconder is also comfortable with that, if Tom's seconder is comfortable with that. No.
It would be Pam's seconder.
If Dr. Pugh's seconder
Correct.
is comfortable.
It would, Dr. Robinson.
Dr. Robinson, if you are comfortable.
I'm cleaning my, like a resolution on this.
We all have our priorities.
Yes.
Okay, and we begrudge nobody their Felix moment. So Dr. Pugh has accepted Mr. McMillan's friendly amendment. Do you?
I've lost the thread. You accepted it?
She accepted it after she said that she was not going to be supportive of it. She rethought it and she said that she was going to accept it. To you, as the seconder, to determine if you will accept it, in which case it is incorporated into the resolution as a friendly amendment. Otherwise, there will be a vote on it.
He's not going to support the resolution one way or the other. Board Member Lipton brings up valid points in that
I would withdraw my support for it.
So you would not support the friendly amendment. Very good. Okay. So the amendment is not considered to be friendly, but nonetheless is offered as an amendment for a vote.
And
Is
it's
that correct?
moved and seconded.
Okay, moved and seconded. There we go. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote on the amendment.
Bullock.
No.
Lipton. No. McMillan.
Yes.
Pritchett.
Yes.
Hugh.
No.
Robinson.
No.
Snyder. Yes. Tilly. No. Motion fails.
Okay. And now we are to the base resolution. Any other discussion associated therewith?
There is
please?
discussion, yeah.
Please.
I want to make it clear that in the third whereas, it talks about JCAR promulgating these rules that require parents to go to the counties. I was chairing that meeting. I was the co-chair of JCAR in 2013 and 14. I tried with all I could muster to get the rules that then Governor Snyder, his office or his department had put forward. I tried to get them rejected because I, like many others, looking at the law, the actual MCL says nothing about going to a county. It says, in the second paragraph of section MCL 333.9215 on exemptions, number 2, a child is exempt from this part if a parent, guardian, or person in loco parentis of the child presents a written statement to the administrator of the child's school or operator of the group program to the effect that the requirements of this part cannot be met because of religious convictions or other objection to immunization. So the rule is against the law. I mean, it's not supported by the law. And so, yeah, I mean, I can't accept this. And I also, my amendment to just simply provide the risks that are included in the manufacturer's, that the manufacturer includes with the vaccines. I think those should at least be distributed if a parent is being asked in some counties to, acknowledge, which they're not, but acknowledge that you're putting your child at risk. Well, no, I mean, there needs to be a counterbalance to that at the county if they're forcing that kind of a thing. So, I'm certainly going to be voting against this. I think it goes against parental authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.
And the law.
Did you have a response or not?
Not just through the chair,
Please, Katie.
just to clarify, when a statute requires something that needs to be further fleshed out, that's when the need for, under the Administrative Procedures Act, that is the need for administrative rulemaking, of which JCAR is our state body that promulgates administrative rules that are necessary to faithfully carry out a law that the legislature passes. And so JCAR is the way that that's done. So it's not just some sort of, I mean, it's a very deliberative process. Whether you like the outcome or not, that is what JCAR is intended to do when a statute says a certified waiver. It was given to JCAR to promulgate rules to put the flesh on the bones of what that meant.
It's regulatory flesh for the statutory bone.
Correct.
Thank you. Ms. Snyder.
That rule was then challenged and it went to Sixth Circuit Court, which is in this resolution, Nikolai v. Lyon, right? So it's clear that that rule has been upheld and honored. However, I go back to, and some people would say, why are we even discussing this? We have no authority over it. We deal with public education. This is an issue in public education. But the reality is I still think that there is room for discussion, further discussion, because the way that that rule is being implemented is impacting the ability for parents to make decisions and for really the law, the exemptions within the law to be effectively carried out individually. So like, that's where it lands. And how do you get a waiver if you had, like, somebody said during public comment, it's very important, and so this is beyond the amendment that just failed, that Tom brought to the table, that I would have liked to discuss, is the idea of, okay, so should this education take place in person so that somebody has to go in person for each child, separate appointments, go pick up separate waivers, right? If you have more than one special needs child, which many families actually do, it, the point is that it is very cumbersome. So why is MDHHS not making it, the waiver process truly accessible? Why are they not educating on not just risks, but benefits and the full conversation? So I think there's more to this resolution. I would move to table it if we're willing to do that, to have a full discussion on what should actually go into it.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder.
Support.
So we have a motion to table. We have support from Mr. McMillan. Parliamentarian Bullock.
There's no discussion on
Is the
a
motion
tabling
on the
motion.
floor? Is this motion on the floor?
This motion is on the full floor, okay? But a motion to table
Would have to come-
supersedes
She would have
it.
to accept.
There's no debate in a tabling motion.
There,
You just have to
there-
have it.
it's just a straight up or down is what
Yeah,
you're
but
saying.
she would have to accept the table.
No.
Not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if she accepts it, it ends up happening.
I don't.
As a matter of force. But she does not have to accept it, no.
Amiss.
Okay, all right. So roll call vote on the motion to table, seconded by Mr. McMillan. Ms. Snyder, Mr. McMillan. You ready to roll?
You got it.
Let's do it.
Bullock.
Yes.
Lipton. McMillan.
Yes?
Pritchett.
No.
Pugh. Robinson.
No.
Snyder. And Tilly.
No.
Motion fails.
Back to the vote on the base resolution. Any more discussion? Hearing no
Oh, wait,
disagreement?
I did want to
Please.
reply to member,
Please.
yeah, just real quick, because she mentioned about promulgating. Now, this is a law that was established in '78. It wasn't like in 2014 or 13. So for 36 years, this law stood without forcing parents or requiring them to go into, to the counties. So it's not like it's something that was new. It was established and it was carried out for almost 4 decades. So, again, I feel that the law does not require it. And so I certainly think that it's, and we're getting emails from families saying that my kids can't get into school because, I'm not gonna go to the county and sign something that says I'm putting my kid at risk. Because I'm not. I'm actually doing what I feel is best for the child. That's why I'm voting no.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Any other discussion? Hearing none, this is a vote on Dr. Pugh's resolution as offered.
Bullock.
Yes.
Lipton.
Yes.
McMillan.
No?
Yes.
Pritchett. Pugh. Robinson. Snyder.
No.
And Tilly.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Board. We're sitting 5:20. Does anybody have any comments before we adjourn? Please, Senator Bullock.
I would just like to say it's been a pleasure under your leadership. I've learned a lot about the intricate details of education and the policies on a different level than what I was accustomed to of just hearing out folks and doing a little research. I've done more reading in the last year and a half, 2 years than I probably did in the last 10. And so this has been a very enlightening journey, and I'm glad you didn't turn back, sit down on those steps, because you found it kind of harder.
Go ahead, Langston.
And so, bid you farewell, and I'm sure I'll be talking to the super, but now she's my super.
See, without a, well, effective midnight. Midnight on October 4th.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ms. Snyder, Ms. Lipton.
Earlier in the meeting, when I passed on a number of confirmations of meeting minutes, President Pam Pugh asked why I am doing that. I want to be clear. I have been clear before in the past in terms of why I decided to start passing on consenting to meeting minutes. It's really an antiquated part of meeting processes now that we have videos that prove, what people said and what happened and the actions that were taken or not taken. Really, the primary purpose of that within parliamentary procedure was a collective memory of what happened. It was meant to keep us accountable, to provide transparency and continuity to what we do. People have access to that on YouTube every single month. What we say, what we do is very much out there. I trust that the public has the ability to decide, and interpret what's going on. There was a time during COVID that I was attacked in a very strong and inappropriate way that I think few people in this room would have supported if they were present, and it was not recorded. When I FOIA'd it, it was not given to me. And at that point in time, I decided that I was going to continuously pass on this antiquated part of the process. I think there needs to be accountability in every single meeting that's open to be recorded. And then therefore that part of the process wouldn't even exist because it's not necessary. Not to, offend Liz, but what she writes down or doesn't write down or how that interpretation isn't necessary at that point in time. It's available to the public to see, to listen to watch, to understand, and to interpret for their own purposes. So that's why I pass. I will pass for the foreseeable future. I think that part of parliamentary procedure should change. It should be updated with the times, essentially.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Lipton.
Yes, through the chair, I would just like to say just a few words, since that's going to be your last meeting. The great John Dewey, who is oftentimes considered the founder of public education, said that education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. And I can't think of someone more worthy of living that. I've said this many times, although I was not at the board table when you were selected. I think that you have weathered enormous storms with great grace, and I can't think of someone more suited to leading the department and advocating for our state's children. And I'll just conclude by saying that the great sages of the Talmud, through Pirkei Avot, said, "You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither shall you desist from it." And I think that you have embodied that, and I can't wait to see all of the places that you'll go now and into the future. So thank you from this board member to you for all of the work that you've done.
Thank you, Ms. Lipton. It's been, I'm not sure that I've heard the Pirkei Avot and Dr. Seuss quoted in the same paragraph. That was an impressive juxtaposition. And with a shout out to your rabbi for support in that regard. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyone else for the good of the group? Once, twice, thrice? Yes, please, Ms. Tilley.
I'm surprised. I was waiting for everybody else to say their comments. One of Judy and I, one of our first duties as state board members was to hire a state superintendent. I definitely want to thank you for your service. We do not always agree, but I wrangle you and you listen. I appreciate that. And I definitely appreciate you being so open to diversity and you bringing that to the department, whether it being through hirees or whether it being through literacy and the different literature that you bring to the table and read to us, or the initiatives that you've pushed throughout the state. I definitely appreciate you making sure that youth see themselves in the books that they read, as well as representation being at the table. So thank you for that. And your years of dedicated service to children. Thank you for that. I also wanted to, a few more things. I wanted to thank our gentleman that's doing sign language. He is working really hard back there. And really appreciate what you do as well. I want to make sure that we don't lose with Dr. Rice vacating the seat, our interim superintendent. I want to make sure that we don't lose the December policy review and update with Park West Foundation, MDE, and DHHS in December for our foster youth. And then I also want to say that I share a lot of Dr. Rice's concerns with the budget. I've talked to different educators and superintendents that are very concerned. Some of our districts are using reserves to educate our students right now, and some of those reserves may run out. And then we also know that it's very tight for some schools. They cannot forecast what the budget that they want to implement for the year and the services, because we still don't know where the dollars are going to land. So it's very important. We definitely need the governor to push. We, the legislature, the legislators, and we need them to step up. We need them to be concerned about kids first. And I'm definitely concerned about, we have a huge budget for the roads. Let's not do it by taking away dollars from our students, from our babies. We need to make sure that we're putting them first. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tilley. Anyone else for the good of the group? Once, twice, thrice, and gone. Board, October 14th, November 13th, December 9th, next three board meetings, Tuesday, Thursday, and Tuesday, respectively. Note that Thursday, November 13th, because Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day, okay? So it is an unusual November meeting. If there are any topics board members would like to recommend for future meeting agendas, please notify Ms. Evans or me for the next 24 days, or Dr. Carnell thereafter. It is 5:30. Enjoy the last 6.5 hours of the day. Thank you.